Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to the first episode of a new Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm going to be playing against 3 separate teams of 2 Emperor AI per team. And this is going to mark the first playthrough series that I'm going to be playing on a large map size, so that's kind of exciting. As I said, we're going to be doing Emperor difficulty with a large map, and I'd like to change it up. In all of my previous playthroughs, I've done land as my map type. I'm going to try continents. I was going to go with maybe an island setting for the map type, but I find that the AI really doesn't do well with water, and what that can also allow me to do is to have more protection and kind of turtle up, which would, I think, make it easier for me. So I think continents is kind of a happy balance of variety, but also still keeping it difficult for me. We're going to do normal game flow as well, and we'll take a peek here at the advanced settings. So we're going to start with an outpost as our town, and the starting distance is going to be far just to make it a little bit longer before we start encountering each other, all of the players in the game. And then everything else is going to be basically just default set to sort of average here. Same goes for geography. And we're going to have the surface, underground, and also it's not shown here, but we're going to have the Shadow Realm enabled. And the Shadow Realm is added by the Shadow Realm mod that I have installed. If you're interested in any of the mods I'm using in any of my playthrough series, just check the video description. It will be listed in every single video in the description. All right, let's move on. So, in terms of the setup for our teams here, we're going to have a team-based game with allied victory, classic turns as usual. And as I said, we're going to have 3 separate teams with 2 players per team in terms of the AI. So we're going to have Team 1 here, Team 2, or I guess Team 2, Team 3, and Team 4. And then, of course, I'm Team 1, just myself. So we've got me versus 2 versus 2 versus 2. That's kind of the setup here. The reason I'm doing this, for one, I want just kind of a little bit more variety. I want to change it up a little bit and see kind of how this goes. But I'm also hoping that what will happen is that these 3 teams are actually going to kind of potentially fight amongst themselves a little bit. And what may end up happening is that one of the teams may end up sort of cannibalizing one or more members of the other teams and may end up becoming very strong as they inherit the cities of the other AI that they're sort of taking over. And I'm hoping that this makes it a more interesting and ultimately a more challenging game for me. But if anything, I think it should be fun, and hopefully you guys will agree that it's going to be enjoyable to watch. I think it will be at least something different for sure. So let's take a peek here at the advanced rules. So something that's going to change from my previous playthrough series, I'm going to be playing on normal game speed. And this is after some thought and due to a suggestion from Casper Eklund. I think what I want to do here is that I want the game to kind of progress a little bit more quickly and also to get to the end game maybe a little bit faster, but obviously I don't want it to be fast or very fast. I still want a balance, and I think normal will, as you can imagine, provide a happy medium for that. So we will get kind of all of the different phases of the game, hopefully, and make it a little bit more exciting. And then we're also going to have starting skills few. And the one other change I'm going to make here is that defender strength is going to be set to strong. And the changes being from previous playthrough series of mine. So I'm doing this because I want a little bit more challenge from the resource structures. And I was tempted to actually set it to very strong, but I think that the AI tends to kind of struggle with taking out the different resource structures, and I fear that if I make the defenders too strong, it might actually give me more of an advantage than it gives the AI, because what it's going to do is it's actually going to hamstring the AI or handicap them to the point that it hurts them more than it hurts me, and therefore I have an advantage. So I think defender strength set to strong will kind of give a healthy balance there to make it challenging, but hopefully give the AI still a chance to at least take some of those structures. And then as always here, we're going to have all of these settings enabled. 4 heroes per team, per leader, and then 30 as the max hero level. So we'll do that. So I think that's going to do it for these settings. Let's move on and pick the leaders. So as you may have guessed from the title of this video, I'm going to be playing as a Draconian Necromancer. And I'm very excited to do this because Necromancer is by far my favorite class to play, and Draconians are one of my favorite races. I just think they're really, really cool. Now, I find that Draconian actually has pretty good synergy with the Necromancer class. And some of the reasons for this are Draconians have innate fire protection, 20% here as a racial bonus. Well, as an undead, you actually are weak to fire. So I find that what this does is it kind of makes up for one of the deficiencies of being undead. In addition, you have, as a Draconian, frost weakness at 20%. Well, as the undead, you actually do have resistance to frost. So it kind of makes up for the racial deficiency of the Necromancer, of the Draconian. So you're kind of covering both weaknesses with the other's strength. And that actually is really a nice synergy. Now, I shouldn't say that it's all sunshine and roses, though, because we do have some negatives to playing as a Draconian Necromancer, and one of those is that we actually don't get to take advantage of fast healing. So normally as a Draconian, your units are going to heal over time faster than most other races, except for maybe Orcs, due to their, I think it's called Victory Rush, where they gain health back as they're winning battles. But Draconians actually tend to heal very quickly. Now, the problem is that as the undead, you actually don't heal over time, so this racial benefit here is basically crossed out and doesn't factor in. So you're not taking advantage of that. The other thing, and you see it here, Shadow Walker. So due to the Shadow Realm expansion mod that I have, Draconians are actually one of the only races, along with Shadow Elves, who can resist the negative effects of being in the Shadow Realm. But as undead, the undead are actually resistant to the Shadow Realm as well. So you're kind of not getting to take advantage of this, because you could play any race as a Necromancer and still take advantage of not being affected by the Shadow Sickness. So you're kind of not getting full benefit of this. All of that said, though, I still think the Draconians make great Necromancers, and I'm really excited to play as one, so hopefully you'll get to kind of enjoy it along with me. Alright, so I'm playing as Crogar the Corrupt. Now, we will talk about our opponents here. I'd like to have a balance of sort of a more of a either casting or maybe a conversion-based player on one opponent, and then to pair that with something a little bit more like a Warlord or a Dreadnought. So I want more of a sort of a casting or a conversion based, like using Theocrats can convert, and Rogues can also use their they have a conversion ability as well. So I want to kind of combine the two and have the teams be relatively balanced. So I think for our first team here, we want a Theocrat for sure. Theocrats can summon units, they can also convert. I think we will go with a Dwarven Theocrat here. A Dwemis Strongmouth, we'll have him with his Destruction and Earth. And we'll pair him with, why don't we pair him with a Goblin? That will be kind of fun. They could maybe both end up underground. So we've got a Theocrat. Let's do a Warlord Goblin. So we'll go with Wazul the Jagged here, who has fire and earth. So that'll make a nice pairing. So a Dwarf and a Goblin, a Theocrat, and a Warlord. For our next team, why don't we do... Let's do a human. We'll do a human. And I think we will do a... Let's do a human rogue. We'll go with Oscar Van Helden here. He's got air and earth. So we've got a rogue, and I think I'll pair that with a Dreadnought. So we will go with a Dreadnought to pair that with. Let's see here, what do we want? How about a Dreadnought High Elf? Audrin Stabilis. So that's kind of an interesting pairing there. Excuse me. And for our final team, I think what we'll do is we'll have a... Let's go with a... Just trying to pick a race. Let's go with a Tigran. And why don't we do an Archdruid Tigran, Rolar the Warden, and we'll pair that with a Draconian, I think. And we can pair the Archdruid with I think I'll go with a Dreadnought for this one as well. So we'll go with Thirak the Rough-Skinned. And I'm picking a lot of Dreadnoughts here, especially because I find that as a Necromancer, Dreadnoughts are pretty tough to deal with. They have fire damage from their flame tanks. Their units are machines, which I find can be difficult to deal with. But again, being a Draconian can kind of offset that. But I think as a Draconian Dreadnought, that will be a real challenge. So we'll have Thirak as well. Yes. So as this game is generating, I'm just going to discuss my strategy kind of a little bit for this battle, or this upcoming game here, this playthrough series. So I'm going to, if any of you have previously watched my Frostling Necromancer playthrough, I am going to use some of the same playstyle, I think. I'm going to try and take advantage of acquiring units without having to produce them. So I'm going to try and take advantage of, for one thing, I'm going to really try to level up my Necromancer heroes and get them to level 7. At level 7, they will acquire Greater Reanimate Undead. And that's going to allow me to hopefully steal some Tier 3 and Tier 4 Undead units from things like tombs or undead spawning structures like necromantic circles and boneyards and things like that. I'm also going to try really hard to improve my economic output. In my Frostling Necromancer playthrough, and in most of my previous experience playing as a Necromancer, I find that gold is always a bit of a struggle, especially as I start growing my army using things like Ghoul Curse. So I'm going to try really hard to shore up my economic performance in this particular playthrough, hopefully a little bit better than I have in the past. Okay, so we now have our Crogar the Corrupt here, and we're about to start, so this is very exciting. Let's see what we've started with. So I was wondering, we had the opportunity there to potentially start in the Shadow Realm. Now we didn't, but that's actually maybe not so bad. Ooh, and we started with a Flyer. I'm very, very happy about that. So I really like Draconian Flyers. They're one of my favorite units. And we also have a Flamer. Unfortunately, we didn't end up getting a Draconian Elder, which I would have really, really liked. But we'll have to kind of make do. So here's Cirrus the Nefarious, a level 1 Necromancer who'd like to join me. I will take that. Once again, as a Necromancer, you always start off with your first hero being a Necromancer that wants to join you. Alright, now let's take a peek at our research. Whispers of the Fallen. Now this is probably one of my favorite strategic spells for a Necromancer. Drastically improves your research output. Now I think I'm going to start with that, and then my next step is going to be Summon Lost Soul. And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain that in a second here. Okay, now we did start with Animate Ruin, which is really, really good for us. And we also have Corrupt the Source. Now, Animate Ruin is what I'm going to probably be using here. I should have maybe mentioned this at the beginning, but I decided to play as Shadowborn, Adept, and Master, and then also take Destruction Adept. Now, the reason I took Destruction Adept is because I want to have the opportunity to synergize Hasty Plunder, which basically allows me to raise a city but still get some income from it, and do it at a speed that's a little bit faster, and then I can use Animate Ruin to rebuild the city. So I'm hoping that will kind of allow me to grow but also obtain some decent income. And so I want those to kind of synergize. Now, what I'm hoping here is that eventually I can get a hold of Undead Plague, which allows me to siphon population away. So we're going to pick Whispers of the Fallen here, but I want to be able to siphon away population from some of the other cities, and I'm going to scout these cities out using those Lost Souls. But anyway, let's get to what we're doing here. So obviously we want to protect our leader in our throne city. Allied victory, meaning they can win as a team, and then we have to defeat all these rival empires. So we've got our throne here of Lax Mihin. So first things first, we're going to start with the Builder's Hall. I want to get that production increased as soon as possible. Okay, so we've got a number of things here we have to deal with. So we've got some Lost Souls here, kind of interesting, as well as a Blight Tusk Boar. We've got a Magma Forge over here. We want to get these going as well to increase our production. So let's kind of split our army here. So we're going to send Crogar, our Flyer, a Raptor, a Charger, and the Flamer, and we're going to send them with Cirrus, the Nefarious here, who is our other Necromancer, we're going to send them over and try and take out this corrupted farm. I think that's going to be step number 1. And then we're going to use this rider as a bit of a scout. I can see, I think that's our cartographer's tent right here, so we're going to head over and grab that. Actually, you know what? Let's send the temple guard up there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll grab the cartographer's tent. Okay, so it looks like that's an orc city off on this little island over here. And we've got gold, and we've also got some population. So I think I'm going to grab population first, because I want the city to grow faster. So for the first few turns here, I don't have to worry about guarding my throne, because, as has been pointed out in some awesome comments in my previous playthroughs, the units don't really start spawning, the roving units, until the 5th turn. So I don't have to worry too much about that. So let's try out our first battle here. So one of the other things that I really like about Draconians as a Necromancer is that we actually have access to additional types of damage. So normally undead have usually blight damage and frost damage. Well, we have fire damage as well. So there's actually the benefit of that as a Necromancer. You get these flamers, and you also can get the Draconian elders, which is what I was actually really hoping to get. Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to get them, but that would have been very nice for me as well. So let's see now, how far can they move? Okay, so they can move in and hit our hero there. So I think we're going to back up. I don't think any of them can actually get to me yet. Oh, the boar rider, or excuse me, the blight tusk boar can. So don't want to leave my heroes exposed. So we're going to basically just retreat everybody back. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to still use our flamer here to do a bit of damage. There we go. So these first few battles are really... Oh, and I forgot to move my... Ouch. So these first few battles are really critical. You do not want to lose anybody. That much is absolutely certain. And the reason for that is because obviously every unit in the beginning is really important, especially since I'm dealing with... Sorry, I'm just thinking there. Especially since I'm dealing with strong structures. So I really got to... Or strong defenders on the resource structures. So I really got to be careful. So I think I really don't want my flamers to die. So I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use our heroes a little bit in melee combat, which is something I tend not to do very much. So first things first, I think we're going to actually, yeah, we're going to wail on these boars with our flyers. We're going to come in with our raptor and take out blight tusk boar. And now I think what we're going to do is we're going to retreat our flamers back because we really don't want them to die. So we're going to run back. We can still do some damage with them. There we go. And then we can move in and get the kill there. Excellent. Excellent. Now, we still have these other units out there, so maybe first things first, we'll move in and we'll heal our flyer. And then we'll let these two come in. Okay, there we go. So far we're okay. And then we can... You know what? It would be great to actually get a hold of a cadaver. There we go. So that's another thing that's been mentioned to me, is that using these cadavers as much as possible is really great, because they're basically like a free unit you can obtain, and they cost mana as upkeep rather than gold. So I find I tend to have a lot more mana than I do gold as a Necromancer, that's for sure. So... Can I move up one more and still be okay? I can. Now I have to be careful, because if I let this battle go any further, the units will start reviving here, the Lost Souls. Okay, now how much damage do we do with the Charger? Or excuse me, with the Flyer. Okay, we've got 6 left, 6 health left. So yeah, this should get the kill minimum 4 + 1 + 2, so we're going to get the kill. So let's go get the kill with our Necromancer hero there. Perfect. So... that battle's dealt with, which is good for us. We get... we'll take that, a Nightmare. Another unit, why not? Now, one thing to keep in mind, this unit is dedicated to evil, and as I am not evil right now, this unit is going to take a morale penalty, but not so severe that it's going to make much of a difference for me. So, I think what we'll do with the charger is we'll basically we'll grab the mana crystals, we'll grab the gold. Okay, here we go. We found a spawner, a brigand hideout, so that's something we're going to want to take out as soon as we can, just to have that kind of not be a pain in our butts that we have to deal with. We really don't want our cities being threatened. Okay, so we'll move these units back together, this stack. I'm not going to worry about this cadaver right now. It will gradually decay over time if it doesn't have a unit with healing there to take care of it. So why don't we take out... Let's take out this gold mine here. So we are dealing with some pretty powerful units here. We've got some tier 2 Tigran Prowlers. So I have to be careful. I don't want to make any big mistakes here. And again, my units are a little bit beat up. Mostly just the Draconian chargers over there. Now, I'm really fortunate in that I have these two heroes that both have heal undead, obviously, so I'm able to kind of maintain my units pretty good. So this flyer is probably going to take the brunt of the damage here. I do have to watch out for the shredders. Now, if they hit and use razor projectiles here, they have a chance to basically cause bleeding wounds. Now, bleeding wounds does damage over time, but what's really scary is that these prowlers have bloodthirsty, meaning that their attacks will deal 4 extra damage if a unit is bleeding. So there's a really strong synergy with Tigrans that I have to be really, really aware of and be very careful. Don't want to let my units get bloodied and then start getting wailed on, because that's going to end very poorly for me. We do have Death Ray and Stiffen Limb. I don't think we're going to need it. You know, it might be worth doing just to kind of... Boy, we could almost kill that Shredder. Not quite, but we could do quite a bit of damage. I think we'll do some damage, though. And again, we want to keep these units back because obviously they're kind of beat up. I'm not going to use my heal just yet. I want to wait and see if my melee units take some damage here, because if they do, I need to make sure that they stay alive. I don't want to risk them going down. So again, I'm just going to be very tentative here. Be very, very cautious. Don't want to make any mistakes or lose anybody at this point yet. There we go. Okay, I wanted them to come in, and yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted. So now they've committed to it. They've moved in. We're gonna light up. Oh my gosh, we can light up this prowler. Let's do that. Oh, wow, we got the kill. So obviously you can see how that frost weakness is really not so great for these Tigrans, as they're taking a lot of damage from my attacks here. So we'll do that. Get the kill here. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to move in. We're going to drop a heal on our flyer. And then move them in. Put them in defense mode. Let them hang out. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to put our... Ooh, actually, no. I don't want my charger being risked there. So... because we still got these archers back there to deal with. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we didn't lose our flyers. Good thing there. You can see, though, they did take some damage, so we got to be careful. Now, again, it would be great to also get another cadaver. I can use them as scouts kind of thing. So, let's build up a charge. There we go. So I took a step over, built up the charge, and got the kill. Excellent. Alright, so this Cirrus has already used his heal undead. So we're going to move over. And we'll revive this prowler. So there we go, we got our new cadaver. And we want to drop a heal because we don't want our flyers being too beat up. And then I think we'll come in with our flamer here and get the kill that way. And there we go, we got a level up for our flamers, so that's nice. And we did a bit of healing there for our flyer, so it's not quite so beat up. little bit extra gold, that's always a good thing. Okay, so now we've got this extra cadaver. So I'm going to basically be sending these cadavers out to just kind of go scout, I think. I want to see what's around me, and I think I'm going to head over here and I can try and deal with these Phantasm Warriors. And that's, again, having the elemental damage from the Draconian Flamers, and if you're lucky to get them, the Elders, is really nice for dealing with units that maybe aren't as susceptible to physical damage. So really, really like Draconians. They're one of my favorites to play as I've said. Okay. We are going to end our first turn. So pretty productive first turn, and we haven't lost any units so far, knock on wood, of course. But things are going well. This is a pretty good start for me. So it's going to be interesting to see how the dynamics of this game go with having these multiple teams of two. Again, as I'm hoping that the AI are gonna kind of fight amongst themselves, and there's going to emerge a team of two that's kind of the biggest, baddest team that's maybe done, like I said, a bit of cannibalizing of one of the other AI. So we'll have to see how that goes. And the turns will take a little bit longer as it's a large game, so we have a bit of time to kind of think about our strategy while that's going on. Alright, so the turn is flipped over, so I think what I'm going to do now, as I said, is... Okay, we've got some blighted terrain down here. I'm wondering, there's probably another city of mine somewhere out here. Or I should say another Draconian city. I would like to try and make friends with them. So we're going to head up this way. Okay, there's a watchtower up there. Otherwise kind of a dead end. So we'll send our cavalry over this way. When it looks like there are some berries there, which I'm going to grab. I'm going to do as much exploring as I can here early. And then I'm going to bring all my units back in afterwards. So why don't we send this guy down this way? Okay, there we go. We have found a city. Fairly sizable city. Of course, it's a goblin city. Usually when you find cities that are that big that early, there's probably a good chance it's goblins, because goblins do grow faster than other races. Okay, and here's our Draconian city. Now, one of the other benefits of playing as a Necromancer is you don't really have to worry about race relations and people hating you. So I am probably going to just aggressively take this over, I think. And also get some evil points for doing that. So, well, I do want to kind of head over there ASAP, but I think I'm going to quickly just do this first. So why don't we grab the gold? And then we'll move back into the stack here, and we will initiate this battle. Now this is going to be a tricky battle, because these Phantasm Warriors are pretty tough customers. They're tier 2 units, and they are not particularly susceptible to physical damage. So they're going to pose a challenge. Now, fortunately, I have the capacity to do some fire damage, which is excellent, as well as so they have physical protection plus 60%. So you can imagine if you don't have a lot of elemental damage, you're going to be not having a lot of fun dealing with them. Now, fortunately, my raptors here, they do some fire damage with their melee attacks, and now my flyers I don't think do. No, they're pure physical, so they're at a bit of a disadvantage. But we have our flamer, and we have the elemental damage coming from our black bolts. So again, the only element they're resistant to is shock, which is good for us. So we actually have a pretty good advantage in this battle, I would say. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just retreat back and basically let them come to me. I kind of want them to get right up on me here. There we go. And I don't think I can hit that from here. No, I can't. Okay. We're going to basically let them come to me. And then we're going to lay into them with our elemental damage here. So, let's try for these two over here first, I think. There we go. And then we can also hit them with, again, some big damage here. And I just want to make sure that nobody gets like cut off and isolated and then killed. So we've already used our flamer. So our flyer, we're going to have to lock down one of these units for sure. Or try to, anyway. Our charger, we could come in and get the kill here. I think, because we're going to do a minimum of 9 damage, and they have... So now, the one thing to keep in mind is that when we go into melee with these guys, we have a chance to get shocked, which could really backfire on us. So, ideally, you want to take them out with range if possible, but let's see... Okay, and we did it, and we didn't get shocked, thank goodness. Okay, that's a big deal for us. That's going to help us a lot there. So we're going to step up and light up these Phantasm Warriors. There we go. So unfortunately, one of these Phantasm Warriors is going to get a free shot to basically come in and most likely try and flank one of my heroes, which is not good. So we got a 30% chance. We could get the kill potentially, but we could also end up getting shocked and then be in real trouble. Let's try it. Okay, we got the kill. Excellent. Excellent there. Now, our charger may end up being a sacrifice here. I hope not, but we'll have to see. What I'm expecting them to do is come in and flank Crogar here. Let's see what they do. These guys may try and also move in. Yeah, wow, okay, so they took a lot of damage there. Not the smartest move on their part, in my opinion. And, you know, I would like to get the kill with my Necromancers. There we go, level up. And I think we will drop a heal over here on our Flamers and get another level up there. That's absolutely fantastic. There we go. So now we'll come in and do a charge here. And we'll do some damage here. Everyone's going to get a piece, basically. Alright, let's end our turn there. Okay, and I think we might still... Yeah, we do still have one heal left to go. So we can heal our... Well, why don't we heal our flyer? And then we can also get some more experience with Crogar here. There we go. A little bit more experience with that kill. So that gave us a much-needed research boost in the early game. That's a lot. 113 extra knowledge there. Really going to help us out. As you can see, we finished Whispers of the Fallen, which means we can now start summoning it. So the reason I like Whispers of the Fallen so much, battles fought within 16 hexes of your cities and fortresses become visible. This spell doesn't affect vassal cities. Now, the most important part of this, you gain a small amount of knowledge for each unit killed in combat. So as long as you're in the vicinity of battles that are happening, you're going to be getting little bits of research every kill you get. And Necromancers also get extra population to their cities for every kill. So I really do find that combat is super important when you're playing as a Necromancer. Just because it's going to give you that extra kind of oomph there to build your population, and also with this spell going, get more research. So okay, we've got a bit of an extra boost here of research. So we could do summon Lost Soul here and have them as scouts. However, we are kind of using our cadavers to do that right now. It would be nice to get Undead Plague and help grow our city a bit faster. A lot of good options here. Shrines of Unlife is another really good one. Shrines produce additional mana income, and they also give you more population growth, which is really nice. And Embrace Darkness is fantastic. All units produced in target-friendly city and all units summoned within that city's borders gain life-stealing and become dedicated to evil. That's absolutely fantastic, especially for summoned and produced units. I'm hoping that maybe in this game, I'll end up encountering one of the dwellings that I can use. For example, the Archon Revenant dwelling, which is amazing if you're a Necromancer. Or the other one I really like is Naga, the Naga dwellings. And this spell would be awesome to cast on those once you have it ready to start producing units. boy, tough decision here. Now, we're not going to start building these shrines right away. So the one that's probably going to benefit us the most right away, we also want to get Undead Plague because that's going to synergize with scouting for us because we can scout and then get these cities. And we also have the option for Hasty Plunder right away, which is awesome. So we got really good with our research here. You know what? Oh, you know, and it might be nice even to just get this and get some more casting points early and have things go a bit quicker. But I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to get Summon Lost Soul. So that's done. So now, let's see. Boy, that was a lot of knowledge there for us early. That's fantastic. Now I'm tempted to do Undead Plague. Okay, we'll do Undead Plague, and then I think I'm going to go focus more on Empire upgrades after that. So we'll get Undead Plague, and then that's going to be the plan. All right, so in terms of Crogar here, first level up, I like to get protection from light to get that extra spirit protection and fire protection for the stack. So that's what we're going to do. So you can see here now we have plus 40% fire protection, spirit protection, so really, really good, and only a little bit of frost weakness as Draconians, but all of our undead ghoul units are not going to be affected by that because it's canceled out. And then with our hero, I actually think I'm going to do the same because in a while I'm eventually going to have this hero leading his own stack, so we'll do protection from light as well, anticipating that we're eventually going to get to that point. So now I think I'm going to actually maybe head over here and go for this city because I want to start getting that city kind of ASAP here, I think. So I suppose I could kind of swoop around here. I could go south, grab this, start converting this city, and then move up this way, kind of in a big loop. But I can do it the other way too, where I can go this way, swoop here, and then down and around. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll go this way. Just have to kind of think that one through a little bit. And of course, we do want to take this out, so maybe we'll actually kind of go... Maybe I should have gone this way, because then I could have gone this way, and then up, and then kind of swept that as I was going up that way. Well, in any case, we'll move in. We could even kind of take this, grab... You know, we can do all of that kind of at once, so I'm not worried too much about it. All right, let's go back to our scout here. So we're going to send this unit, I think, back over this way. And yeah, this guy's going to come back. So that's going to do it for our... That's going to do it for our second turn. So again, what I'd like to really try and do is get a couple of these cities in my control quickly. I'm going to just basically take them over and then absorb them. I may even turn this one into Draconians, I haven't decided. Actually, because of the terrain, it might be better to just leave it as goblins. But we'll have to see. I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to walk before I run, right? So we'll keep using this nightmare here. We'll grab the gold and we'll keep kind of just searching and seeing what else we can find. There we go. We also met the village of Hif, which is these goblins down here. Okay, so let's get our army over here. We want to clear out these structures. Actually, we can clear out all these gold mines and whatnot while we're here. So we could go 1, 2, 3, city. Up here, here, here. I think that's probably what we'll do. And it looks like, is that a... Oh, and that's a necromantic circle, I see. Right here. That's a necromantic circle. So that we're going to be able to... Let's just zoom in on that. Yeah, you can see there's like the star there, the chaos star or whatever that is. The occult star. So that's a necromantic circle. We're going to be able to potentially get some units from that once we're at level 5 with control undead. And then at level 7 when we have greater reanimate undead. So let's grab this gold. There we go. That's nice. And then we'll head over this way. And we can grab that and keep going. So we can do a lot of exploring over there. And there isn't much more exploring I can do this way, I don't think. We do have the water limiting us at this point, so I am eventually going to want to get the ability to embark, that's for sure. We've also got these little guys to deal with too. Now, let's see, can we move? You know what we could do? Yeah, I think we'll do that because I wanna get these battles going. So we'll group these up and we'll actually start doing some battles just because I don't want to wait for these battles here. So we'll actually bring in our raptor as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use our flyer here to initiate. Actually, hang on a sec. Before we do that, let's just close that for a second. If we use our... Can we move over one more? Oh, we can. Okay, so we might actually be able to really parlay this. Okay, so we're going to do No Mercy because we want the experience and we want the evil points. So I've sacrificed by splitting my stack up, but I'm doing this because I want the extra experience here and I want to get these battles going. I don't want to waste, you know, time between turns, basically. So I'm going to have to be really careful in this battle, though, because I'm fighting some pretty strong units. Fortunately, my flyer is now leveled up quite a bit, and we can use these cadavers as basically a throwaway guard unit, so we're going to throw them right there. And then we can revive them if we need them. So first things first here, we're going to light up this Prowler, because the Prowler is probably the most dangerous unit on the field, for the enemies anyway. We also have to watch out for the Sun Guard, which can be pretty devastating, to be honest. Now let's kill off... There we go. Fantastic. Prowler is dead. That's dealt with. So these guys will probably be stuck there. Yeah, perfect. Oh, and it sucked up both attacks. That's fantastic. I love using cadavers as... I used to talk about a meat shield, but I called them a bone shield because they don't really have any meat on their bones, right, as you can see. So, yeah, that's my favorite way to use them. Okay, we're going to come in for a flank here. And then we're going to get the kill, I think, with our... Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, one thing that I can do is I can come in and... I can literally revive my cadavers. So I have to be careful. I don't want them to gang up on my hero, but there we go. That's kind of what I was expecting to happen. And then guess what? We can do it again. Oh, that's... I just think that's so hilarious. Okay, we'll get the flanking charge here. Get the kill, no problem. And then, I think what we'll do here is we'll just get the kill with Crogar. Get the extra experience. So there we go. Cleared out that gold mine. Again, I'm trying to do as much as I can in this one turn before it flips over. I want to just keep getting combat, keep getting experience, especially with my heroes. And this little guy actually, he survived the battle pretty well. Okay, let's take out these orcs next. Oh, and we just have enough movement to do it. No mercy. There we go. So again, we want the evil points and we want the battle experience here. Really want to keep leveling up. Again, I'm going for level 5 and then level 7. Those are the two levels where I'm getting the things that I really want. So let's take advantage of the terrain here a little bit. So we're going to throw our cadaver up as a shield. Move all our units in. There we go. So we're dealing with the Black Knight in particular. I have to be careful because the Orc Black Knight is a cavalry unit that acts like a mobile pikeman unit because it has polearm. So I have to be super careful. They're cavalry that are really good at killing other cavalry. So I want to watch out for them. That's for sure. And I think what we'll do is we'll put our flyer there. And then we'll come around with our raptor for a flank or whatever if necessary. And we're going to cast Death Ray. I We're going to cast it on the most dangerous unit, which is the Black Knight. I'm hoping that'll kind of draw them into combat now. Nope. Going to take a little bit more prodding to get them to aggro onto me here. There we go. Now I'm in range, so I can start lighting them up. What I want them to do is basically to come in and start trying to attack me. So we're actually going to kind of do this. We're going to, again, throw up our cadaver as a bit of a sacrifice. Again, what I'm trying to do here is really mitigate any damage, any risk to my main units. It's obviously a much more cautious approach, but I want to play it pretty safe here. I don't want anybody dying. I don't want to make any... I don't want to have any losses, any heavy losses. Okay. So we can kill off the headhunters. I'm going to want to bring my cadavers back for sure. So why don't we use Crogar to kill off the headhunter. And then we'll be cheeky about this, and we will basically just revive our cadaver. There we go. And now our flyer can hang in... Actually, we're going to keep our flyer there in case our cadavers go down again. Alright, now let's see what happens. Okay. Awesome. Our cadavers soaked up tons of hits there, which is great. So now we're going to bring Crogar around. And once again, we are going to reanimate these cadavers. Can actually get the kill with them, which is fantastic for them. And then with Cirrus here, we can drop a heal, come in and get a nice flanking charge on those pesky orc spearmen, I should say. Oof. There. Nice battle. Nobody died. Got some experience with our cadaver. He's gradually getting more powerful. And our leaders are also gaining experience, as well as our flyer and our charger, or raptor, I should say. So things are going well. Look at our gold. We got a big buffer of gold, which is really good for us. And you know what? Let's just double check out here. Okay, yeah, there is nothing. So, okay, now at level 3, this is a great thing. We now have lesser reanimate undead, which means that we can revive our tier 1 and tier 2 units if they go down. So that's really, really good for us. So Crogar didn't level up, but Cirrus did. Alright, and we're pretty much completely out of movement, which is good. So we're going to end our turn there. Nice, and our spell is ready to go, which is great for us. We're going to start getting a lot more research income, which is excellent for us. And once I cast this, I'm then going to start casting Lost Soul, Summon Lost Soul, because I want some additional scouts for sure. Oh, and they have a quest available for me. Why, of course I will do this quest for you. Absolutely. And the Undead Scourge, so I've got some reanimators. Unfortunately, I'm not quite able to... I'm not at a point where I'm able to acquire these units, but boy, that would be great if I was level 5. Then I could get some free units there, or try for them anyway, because it's not a guarantee. Okay, we're going to cast Whispers of the Fallen. Absolutely fantastic spell for us. One of my personal favorites. We do have to be cognizant of the fact that we now have negative mana income, so I have to watch that. Especially if I'm going to use Summon Lost Soul here. So we'll do that, and we'll be able to survive for a few turns. And then I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a shrine in our throne city. Let's just get a peek at what this is here. So yeah, we've got a Necromancer. Oh, and there's a Deathbringer. Holy cow. Well, that would be phenomenal to get on our team. So we're going to actually head back and start guarding up the throne here, I think, in anticipation of some roving units eventually showing up here in the next turn or next couple turns. And Now, one thing, we could use our flyer to go out into the water and grab that extra money. But I kind of want the flyer to keep getting experience in battle, so that's what we're going to do. So, first things first, we'll move down here. And, yeah, why not? We'll bring the cadaver along, too. And we will initiate the battle. Some fell horses. We're going to do no mercy for that extra evil points, and also, again, the battle experience, which I am hungry for, as always. Okay, they're going to charge right in and make life a little bit easier for us. So let's throw our cadaver in there to tie up a few of them. We're going to do this, do some big damage there, a little bit more damage here, come in and try and get the kill. We did, excellent. And then we'll throw our flyer just to kind of help protect, because they may break off and try and attack our hero. Oh, okay, they went for our... Wow, they went for our charger, or raptors. That's interesting. Well, our cadaver is almost a gold medal, and the beauty of once they get to gold, I really like this about cadavers, they get resurgence. So if they die, they just come back at the end of the battle, assuming you win. So that's really, really good for cadavers to get. Alright, well, with Cirrus here, we'll just get the kill. No worries there. And then I think with Crogar, we will come in and drop a heal. And then we'll get the kill with our flyer. There we go. Nice battle, and Crogar leveled up. We get a tiger out of this one if we want it. Sure, why not? And we can upgrade, and we will take Lesser Reanimate Undead as well. We now have the ability to revive 2 of our units, provided that they are undead ghouls, of course, so I wouldn't be able to revive this tiger, for example. Oh, and I almost forgot about our scout out here. Let's do this first, because maybe we can get some more... Oh, look at that. We have a massive surplus of gold, which is excellent for us. Holy, look at that. A horned god. Boy, that is a well-defended structure, this Spring of Life. Holy cow. Tier 4. You know, that might be something I could try for a ghoul curse on eventually. Something to remember here. I mean, it'd be a very low chance, but boy, that's exciting. Okay, so now let's go do this quest for this city. And then, probably gonna just sell the reward and get the kill anyway. I think that's probably gonna be the plan. So let's do the movement up there. And for these units here, I think we almost have enough to build a second squad here for Cirrus, but I really like having my Necromancers together at this point. I find it really minimizes any risk. So I would like to get these units in this battle, though. I don't want them missing out on the experience. I think the Charger is a little bit less important for me. Send our Charger up there. A Raptor. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to initiate the battle with the Undead. And again, because we're Draconian and we have fire damage, we really have a nice advantage against other Undead, so very, very good. Ooh, look at all that damage. That was real nice. Come in and get the kill there. That was fantastic. We'll come in and put our flyer there. This is going to do very little damage, but a little bit of extra experience. Why not? Actually, you know what? We could get another one of these cadavers, but we're low on mana and they require upkeep, so I don't think we're gonna do that. Because again, when these are created, they require upkeep. Now it's 2, so not a lot, but we are kind of hurting for mana at the moment, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Oof, that Overwhelm is just incredible. So Overwhelm here, I'll just show you. Deals +3. Deals +3 damage against pikemen and shielded units. So these are extremely good against basically other infantry. So that's great. So we could get a Draconian Crusher and have a peace treaty. and then we could violate that peace treaty by basically engaging and killing them. And I think that's something that we're going to actually... I think we're going to do that. Ooh, but we get positive alignment for that. I think, you know what, let's just sell it for gold. We really don't need that other unit. And now we can move in and be a real jerk about this, and we're going to take the city by force. So we're going to declare war, and we're going to do this battle. And we're going to get our first city here that we're going to start absorbing, basically. So, again, we have to watch out. They do some fire damage, but thanks to our protection from light, we don't have to worry as much about it. Okay, we're just going to gradually advance into the battle here. I don't want to get overzealous here. And we got to watch out for these crushers. Do a bit of damage. So we'll move in just a little bit here. There we go. Some nice damage there. And we're going to just advance in here. And we can hit up these little hatchlings a little bit. Maybe shouldn't have grouped up, because now he's going to firebomb us probably. Oh, nope, just went for the raptors. Okay, well, two can play at that game. We'll just firebomb them right back. There we go. And, yeah, we'll get the kill there. Ouch. A little bit more damage on those crushers. And again, let's just let them come to us. Well, now we're really grouped up. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Fortunately not too painful, but yeah, that was a bit of an oopsie. So we'll get a heal. Come in and wail on them a bit. And, you know, it would be great to... I think we'll use our flyer here on these. Yeah, there we go. And then we will firebomb these flamers, try and get the kill. We did, excellent. Ooh, and a level up for them as well, that's great. And we can drop another heal on somebody. Let's heal up our raptor. There we go. Now this might end up in a kill here. Let's see if they... Yep, there we go. So our unit is getting extremely strong, which is great for us. And we've now taken over our first city. We have to decide what to do with it. So we're actually just going to migrate to Ghoul Draconians. Only takes one turn, so that's going to be quick. We're going to lose some population, but that's okay. It's going to get it in our control that much quicker. So these little guys are going to probably decay before I can do anything with them, but we're going to send them back over. This tiger, I think we're going to send the tiger back to help defend our throne a little bit. And I don't want this little guy to wither away, because he's still got some utility. Oh, that sucks. So I can't quite get all my units to one point of battle here. I think we'll go here, and then we can actually bring in the raptor. Now, ooh, that, you know, this is a tough battle. We got a tier 3 dire bear and a shaman. It's not an easy battle for me to do. It'd be great if I could get Crogar in there too. You know what, though? I think with the flyer, I think we'll be okay. Plus, I can revive one of my units. Oh, and I forgot, I'm bringing in this charger as well. Yeah, we'll do this. Again, I want to get as much of these battles in as possible. Taking some damage, but nothing too crazy. So, really got to make sure. Now, I can revive any of my units, except obviously for my hero, because my hero is the one doing the reviving. And the flyers, because they're a tier 3. So, We want to heal them for sure. And then we can actually use our raptor as a bit of a sacrifice if necessary, which is kind of a nice thing. We can use both our raptors actually as a bit of a sacrifice if necessary. So why don't we charge in at the bowman there? As long as they don't both go down. And then we will move in here and put ourselves in defense mode. Bring in our charger. And then I see some archers that are primed for a... Oh, and I should have maybe attacked them before my... You know what, though? If I do that, then they'll die because they'll get blasted by arrows. So I think we're actually gonna pull them back. Okay, now the flyer... I want to get my flyer involved, but I also don't want to risk losing the flyer at this point. So I think we'll go over here, a little bit out of the way. Alright, now let's see what happens here. So I'm expecting the bear's going to annihilate. Ooh, entangled. That's not good. Ah, that's not good. Ouch. That's really not good. Really got to keep these flyers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to... We could stiffen limb. Reduce movement, but I don't know if that's going to even make any difference. Oh, man. I think yeah. I kind of forgot about that ability. I think we just lost our flyer. Oh, that's painful. All right, now let me think. There might be a way out of this, but I'm not seeing any real obvious way out. Okay, well, we want to wail on the shaman. We can go tie up the hunters. There we go. And at least they're damaged now. Yeah, we're losing those flyers. There's nothing I can do about it. My only hope, if I go with stiffen limb, at least it will reduce. So you can see there, it's got less movement points, meaning it can only... Oh, and it can still attack 3 times. Damn. Yeah. Boy, that was a huge, huge mistake on my part. Again, sometimes I get overconfident, right? Yep. Look at that. And of course, I'm not able to revive them yet. Now, the one thing that's a bit of a silver lining to this, boy, that sucks. I can do this, and I get to at least keep their experience around. But... The real sad thing is that this doesn't work on tier 3 units, and those flyers were tier 3. So, pretty massive mistake on my part, but, I mean, we'll be able to recover. It's just, boy, that's sad. Because those flyers were absolutely incredible units. And, of course, you know, you take your foot off the gas for a split second, and look what happens, right? So, you know, again, I know I say, I've done that a few times now, but try not to have that happen to you, right? Where you get kind of complacent, or you think, oh yeah, it's fine, my units are strong enough. There we go. And then let's wail on the bear. Oh, and now as I'm thinking about it, I put my flamers in a position where they're going to get killed now. That was a mistake. Yeah, geez, look at that. Oh, but of course I can do this. Ha ha ha. So at least I got that. But yeah, boy, that was unfortunate. I really shouldn't have lost. Just seeing who needs the experience the most. That was a real big mistake there. So that's now gold medal, which is great. I think let's level up the charger. There we go. So yeah, losing those flyers, boy, that's devastating. Again, though, at least I was able to... Yeah, we'll take that ferry. At least I was able to keep their experience around in the form of those cadavers. But yeah, that's a real painful one. I think we're actually going to dismiss this guy, just to reduce the amount that we're losing per turn there. All right, let's do our... So we've leveled up. I'm actually not going to take anything here. I'm going to save the points for level 5. Yeah, boy, I needed to be more patient there, that's for sure. So I want to do that battle next, I think. over here and then go up there and clear that out. Oh, that stings. Boy, oh boy, I should not have lost that flyer. Oh, oh, that makes me so sad. But you know what? Again, let that be a lesson, right? Just when you think you're doing well and you're confident, you can get overconfident like I did, and you lose one of your best units early game. The good news is, though, like I said, I did recover. So that flyer is still here in spirit, in the form of this cadaver, which is now gold medal and has resurgence. So again, silver lining there. I think we're going to call this episode 1, though. So again, really productive aside from losing that flyer, but we're going to be able to recover from that. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble. So we're going to save this one. Oh, boy, that stings. Ouch. You know, I seem to have at least one of those moments every episode. And of course, you know, I'm only human, right? And like I've said this before in my other playthroughs, I'm by no means an expert. Okay, we're going to call this one Draconian Necromancer 1v2, v2, v2, because we've got 3 teams of 2. And this is episode 1. So we're going to save it there. Draconian Necromancer 1v2, v2, v2, episode 1. Saved. And yeah, so again, I'm only human and I make mistakes too. And of course, you know, something to learn from, hopefully, that, you know, my strategy in that battle, obviously I was a little overconfident, but in any case, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.